LA area code 323. Now, y'all need to recognize. Now, if you're a Clipper fan, I don't want to hear you say basket or ball for the next year. I don't want to hear nothing about LeBron James got a break because of COVID. Because guess what? Every other NBA player got the same break that LeBron James got. Now, y'all need to give a man his flowers while you're alive and realize what you're watching. And stop trying to diminish the man. Oh, he ain't better than this one. He ain't better than that one. Well, he's the best thing in the NBA right now. Those guys did what they did. We can't take that away, nor should we attempt to. But give that man his credit. Y'all saw what he did. Miss Trip Dub came down to the bubble. She been in quarantine for a long time, and it was her time to come out. 38, 16, and 10. He did that.
You're on the ground. Can you share with us what was going through your mind, what you were doing as you were just sitting there? It looked like you were stretching a little.
Yeah, I was just getting my breath back up underneath me after a hard-fought series versus one of the most well-coached teams I've played against in the postseason. One of the most respected teams I've played against, and obviously you guys know how much I love Mike Malone. He's incredible, and he's the reason why that team is so damn good. So I was thinking about that. I was also thinking about some of my teammates this is their first appearance to the finals. Obviously AD had a lot of my thought process, and this is the reason why I wanted to be a teammate of his and why I brought him here. I wanted him to see things that he hadn't saw before in this league, and to be able to come through for him meant a lot for me personally. And then I started thinking about the next opponent. Boston had a few moments in my head. Miami had a few moments in my head as well. On how challenging that's going to be. Whoever wins that next series, and how challenging that's going to be. And then I just started thinking about my journey as well. So all of that was just going through my mind as the confetti was on the floor, as it's coming down, landing on my shoulder, and things of that nature. So hopefully that was a good description.
Hey, LeBron, Frank said he felt like you have played with a chip on your shoulder all year, and if you can remember way back to September and October, this is obviously the washed Kane year. What does it mean for you to have this moment after everything that you went through with your first year with the Lakers, and then also what does it mean to this team after every single obstacle that you guys kept hitting this season to still end up where you were trying to get all year?
Well, for me personally, the job is not done. But it's great to hit moments throughout the course of a journey and appreciate that. And this is all part of the process, but the job is not done for me personally. Thank you. For us as a franchise, I'm extremely proud to be a part of this franchise getting back to where it belongs. And that's playing for championships and compete for championships and represent the Western Conference this year in the championship. So this is what I came here for. And, I heard all the conversations and everything that was said about why did I decide to come to L.A., the reason I came to L.A., it was not about basketball and all those conversations of, naysayers and things of that nature. But I understood that, and with the season last year and with my injury, it just gave them more, more sticks and more wood to throw in the fire to continue to say the things that they would say about me. But it never stopped my journey. It never stopped my mindset. It never stopped my goal. And I'm happy, like I said, and proud of this organization, and proud of my teammates. I'm proud of the coaching staff, the front office, and our ownership as well, at this very moment today.
Hey, LeBron, you just mentioned, it's Mike Trudell back in LA. You mentioned getting the Lakers back to the finals. The last time they got there, Game 6, Western Conference Finals 2010, Kobe goes for 37, hits all those dagger jumpers in the fourth. Just wondered how you processed your emotions all year about Kobe, and as this run has continued, wearing the purple and gold, how that's all sat in your mind.
Every time you put on purple and gold, you think about his legacy, you think about him and what he meant to this franchise for 20 plus years. And what he stood for, both on the floor and off the floor. What he demanded out of his teammates, what he demanded out of himself. And We have some similarities in that sense. Our games are different, but as far as our mindset and our drive to want to be the best, and our drive to not lose, or even if the score, sometimes you're going to lose games, but just that drive to always want to be victorious, it stops you from sleeping. And sometimes you put certain things, you sacrifice a lot of things. You sacrifice your family at times because you're so driven to be so great that other things fall by the wayside at times. So I understand that. I'm one of the few that can understand the mindset that he played with and the journey from high school to the NBA. So it's just a thing that that I carry with me. Like I said, every time I decide at one point in that locker room before the game when I throw that jersey on.
Allie?
All right, you want to go with Kyle?
LeBron, obviously, you've done games like this a lot in your career. You've had sequences like you had in the fourth quarter. But at where you're at in your career, at your age, do you find yourself maybe just savoring these moments more than when you were younger?
I don't, unfortunately. I wish I did. They happen so fast, and my mind is still so locked in on the journey that it's hard for me to take in and appreciate what we just accomplished. It's just how I've always been, and I always say that when I'm done playing a game, hopefully I can, I'll look back on it and enjoy it. And hopefully I will. Hopefully I can. Hopefully, because I don't think I enjoy it enough when I'm in it, because I'm so engulfed in the process until the final call. But I'm so damn proud of this team and where we are right now, up until this date.
Dave McMenamin?
Oh, y'all sneaking here. Okay.
So, the nature of your accomplishments has had you compared to other greats of the game for a long time. But you've insisted, I'm my own guy, it's my own story. So what about the fact that, you didn't just stay in the first team, first city, you go to Miami, you go to LA. And what has that meant to you to kind of blaze your own trail as a superstar or whatever?
I don't know. I've never looked at it that way. I never said, okay, I want to, cast myself as a superstar or whatever the case may be. I just said I just want to travel my own journey, because it is my journey, and I've appreciated, everything that's happened along the way. And, throughout, the ups, the downs, the ups on the court, the downs on the court, the wins, the losses. But I've been able to, I guess as Frank Sinatra would say, I did it my way, And at the end of the day and at the end of my career, I just hope that I inspired enough people to want to play the game the right way, and have that respect from all the opponents that I played against, all the teams that I played against, and the organizations that I play for. Because at the end of the day, that's all you have is your respect.
Rachel?
The NBA Finals have basically been LeBron James' invitation for the last decade. I'm trying to picture what you were doing at this time, during the NBA Finals last year, and how that affected your continued determination to get back in.
Well, it all depends what game we're talking about. There were a couple games where I was at home. There was one or two games where I was in Cabo. And there was a couple games where I was at a hookah lounge during the finals last year. That's the truth. I wasn't smoking hookah, but I was there.
Was the game on or no?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't have went. Yeah, the game was on in Cabo. The game was on in my house and at the hookah lounge, and I watched every single minute of the games until it stopped. I actually watched every single postseason game last year. I think I told Dave that. I watched every single postseason game, and part of me, I'm just a fan of the game. I love the sport. I love the competitive nature. I love the playoffs, and then also of saying like, oh, I wish I was in this moment. What would I have did at that moment? What I would have made, what play would I would have made in that moment, if I was out there, So, yes, I didn't miss a game. I didn't miss one game. Even on vacation, I didn't miss a game. My wife didn't like it, but